Hey, Purposeful family, it's your girl Angie Melange.
And I'm Candace.
Today, we're here to introduce a new initiative that is brought to you by the Pretty Purposeful podcast. It is the Pretty Purposeful Spotlight. So, Pretty Purposeful Spotlight is a new initiative that is brought to you by the Pretty Purposeful podcast, where we will be shining a light on change makers and impactful organizations making a difference. And today, we are honored to have Michelle Ellis with us. She's the visionary behind the U Awards, which is a powerful platform that recognizes and celebrates outstanding youth achievements.
Yes, and this is extra special because Angie actually performed at last year's event. So we know firsthand how impactful this award show is.
Absolutely. And that was an amazing opportunity. It was very inspirational just to see the work and all the effort that has gone into this initiative. So we're going to go ahead and bring up Michelle Ellis. Hi, welcome, Michelle. Welcome to the Pretty Purposeful Spotlight. We are so glad to have you here. So tell us, how are you feeling as you gear up for this year's event?
Well, I am excited, yet I do get jittery still. A lot of people ask me why do I still feel jittery or nervous every single year. We've been doing this now, 10 years of celebrating young people. It's because I am so passionate about what we're doing, and I want the parents and the young honorees to be excited and happy about all of the work, that goes into what we're doing. And then everybody that works with me on this project, with this nonprofit, they all are successful in their own right. They have careers. And so we all come together to do this event and other events. So, but this is a very special event that we do every year. So we're excited. I'm feeling good though.
Great. That is awesome to hear. Tell us a little bit about the U Awards. What inspired you to create this platform?
Okay, sure. So the U Awards is a nonprofit organization that I started technically a little over 10 years ago because it takes obviously time to put together something like this. And so for many years, people would see me volunteering with different organizations, and one in particular is the Trumpet Awards Foundation with Ms. Ernona Clayton. She's my mentor. I love everything that she has done over the years. She was the first in a lot of different areas. And so when I would volunteer with her through her organization every year for many years, I just loved what we were doing. I mean, she was spotlighting prime ministers and prime ministers' wives and civil rights leaders and artists and musicians and people on a global stage. And her award show would air in over 100 countries around the world. And so just seeing that level of celebration, it did something to me. And I have always been a person who loved to celebrate people, cheer people on, just be right there. And so when I had this idea, the one of the first people that I went to was Miss Clayton. And I sat down with her early one morning. It probably was like 6, 7 o'clock in the morning, over like breakfast. And I shared what I wanted to do, and she was so excited and so supportive, so much so that she was literally at the table trying to draw a logo, come up with a name, and we joked about it. And I still have her little drawings to this day. And I just said, "Oh no, I'm going to come up with something else. That's good, but thank you." And so that's kind of how it started, right? It started because of her, and then from that point forward, I just went to the people the closest around me, my husband, my father, my parents, both of them, my best friends, and said, "This is what I want to do." And everybody was just so on board. So that's kind of how it started.
Tell us about this year's event. Tell us when it will be, what people can expect.
So this year's event will take place on Saturday, March 29th, at the Southwest Arts Center in the theater. It is going to be starting at 3 p.m. on that day, um, in Atlanta. And every year I get either a news anchor, or somebody in that caliber to host the show. This year we have the beautiful actress, Miss Ivory Shields. Ivory has been on so many things. She's a producer herself. She's been on a couple episodes of Will Trent. She has been on the OWN network. So she was so excited to come and host this year. So we're excited for her. And we are just really, really excited about the honorees. For example, our business honoree this year is a young lady by the name of Zoe Oli. And Zoe literally started a company. Now, mind you, she's not even a teenager. I believe she's 12. Started this company with her mother because she couldn't find the dolls that she wanted to play with that were in line with her, like her. And so they started this company. And her dolls can be found in stores like Target. She has been on national platforms like the Jennifer Hudson show. She's been interviewed everywhere. So that is just one person, right? Typically, in the past, we've honored 7 honorees.
Mhm.
This year, for the first time, we are honoring 8 honorees. The 8th honoree came about because of, like I mentioned earlier, I've had so much support around me with this idea. My dad was a huge supporter of what I do, but he's always been like that from a child all the way up to an adult. And every year my parents were there, they were in the audience. And last year my father passed away, and so I went to my board and I said, I have to do something. You guys, please be on board with this, but we'll take a vote on it. And I want to have an award in honor of my father. And they agreed. And so they said, "Well, what are you going to call it? What do you want to call it? Name it." And I said, "You guys know, everybody knew my father. Everybody on the board that would be there. If you came in contact with my dad, you knew who he was. He was a big, gentle giant of a man." So it was only fitting that this award would be named the Patrick A. Cousin Jr. Inspired Kindness Award. The young man that we have selected, Orion Jean, uh, literally from a kid, learned what it meant to be kind to people. And he has written 2 books on kindness. He's now, I believe he's 14 now, but at the age of 10, he was featured on major publications. And so he travels around the country speaking on why you should be kind, what it is to be kind.
That is definitely extraordinary to hear that he authored, published books at such a young age and so intentional about spreading kindness, which is so needed in today's world.
So, Michelle, for someone who has never attended, what's the overall experience like?
For me, it's a spiritual thing, meaning I feel like God told me to do this. I followed his order. Even through the trials and tribulations of it all, I keep pushing forward. Every year I tear up, I cry on stage. And um, I get emotional because of, I think, and a lot of people have said it's probably because you care about what you're doing, number one, and number two, you're probably exhausted at that point. And I sat back and I thought about it. And I said, you know, you're probably right because I throw everything I can into it, just trying to make it something good. And, that's time and that's energy. So,
Yes.
so that's what happens to me. And then for other folks, they tell me that they walk away feeling inspired, rejuvenated. They feel like the world has a shot at, the acts, at the world keep moving forward in a positive way because of all of these young people.
Mhm.
So they look and say, okay, the future is truly bright because we see some of these young people and what they are doing. So those are the kinds of messages I get emailed to me, texts to me. People pull me to the side after the event, they hug me and they say, just keep going, just keep going. And that's the plan. I'm going to attempt to just keep going as long as I can. And I will say that a lot of people do ask me though, why do I do this? Because it is a Herculean effort to try to bring so many people together on one accord. And when people see me in that just so focused mode, and they're like, why do you do this? You have a family, you don't have to do this. Your kids are wonderful, they're exceptional. Why do this? Why celebrate other people's kids? Why? And I just, all I can say is God told me to do it.
Amen. It's one thing to recognize youth excellence, but I mean, these youth were doing some phenomenal things that, just the general public isn't aware of. So, my hat goes off to you, Michelle. I totally respect and love what you were doing, and I'm so happy that you are, taking that call that you've received from God, because that really right there is what is sustaining this, and just it's amazing how God works.
Oh my gosh, everything Michelle just said, with it being like a spiritual encounter, I definitely experienced that. It was truly magical, truly inspiring, and it gave a lot of hope. A lot of hope because it even says in the Bible, like we cannot forget about our young people, right? And this actually is a platform that recognizes the young people that actually, I mean, spark, right? And I think that's needed, especially in today's time, is needed. And again, from the bottom of my heart, thank you.
How can people support the U Awards, um, sponsorships, donation, and even also getting tickets for this year's event?
Yeah, we listen, every dollar that we get, it goes to the events that we do. I just want people to understand that no one on our board takes a salary. There's no pay, there's no money, and people on the board do this because they want to. So nobody's getting paid. So anytime there's money that comes through the organization, it literally goes to the things that we're doing. And every year we start over. If we raise so many thousands, we spend it. And then we try to start over again because we're doing stuff in the year too. Like we might go and support a school, right? And but we're supporting the teachers. The big event for us is our award show every year because we give them funds to help whatever they're working on. We obviously we have to buy trophies. We have to pay the theater. We have to pay tech people. So when people make donations or if they want to sponsor us, whatever, just know that your money's going to a good cause. So if people want to volunteer, if it's not too late, we will have you come out and help us.
How can they get in touch with you?
The email is the best way. So info@uawardsinternational.org, or the phone number 404-906-5783. reach us. We will do our best to respond as quick as possible. Leading up to the event, it could be where it might take us a day or so to get back, but normally we respond pretty quickly, where we're not, right before leading into an event. You can find us on all social platforms. Just look up U Awards International, YOU. After our event ends, the very next day, we start promoting for
The next.
new submissions. So if you guys have anybody that you think just deserves to be spotlighted, let us know. Go to our website, nominate somebody. So when you come and see, or whoever comes and sees some of these speakers, you're going to be blown away. I mean, one in particular, I'm so impressed by this young African American woman, young, who owns 2 hotels. And she's a true businesswoman, and she's coming to speak. I have also a pilot. We've been in this thing with airlines and so forth, but this pilot, African American pilot, that's going to come and talk, his credentials, I mean, the stuff that he's done over the years, amazing. And he and his wife have set records, being a couple, 2 pilots, in the industry. And I just can't give you everything, because there's a lot of there's some surprises. People should come and just experience that.
Well, I will certainly be there, and I am looking forward to this year. And again, Michelle, we're just so grateful for you to take time out of your day to join us and share with us. But before we wrap up, is there anything that you would like to say to encourage our audience?
I have always felt like people should, number one, be themselves, follow their hearts, their dreams. We know that as we become adults, sometimes that's harder to do, to follow your passions, because especially if you end up having a family that you have to take care of. So I always tell people to try to find something in your life that will make you happy, that will give you life, that will help you to continue to push forward in this life. And I just want to encourage people to stay positive when we live in a world that has so much negativity. You have to just try to find the light in others, or even in yourself. Just just try to push forward, and just try to find something that can keep the spark in you. And that's how I feel. So I hope that everyone that watches your podcasts, that they get something out of it that they need, that will encourage them to continue on. So congratulations to you 2 ladies for also listening to God, and following your heart, and trying to spotlight people, um, just like what I'm trying to do. You're trying to do the same thing. So I applaud you with all the things that you all are doing. So, keep up the good work, push through, and I'm sure everything will be wonderful.
Yes. So, Pretty Purposeful family, let's show up and support this phenomenal event. I was able to get a chance to look at my calendar. I plan on being there because I experienced the awesomeness of it all. So I definitely plan on being there. I know Angie will be there. And y'all, this is like, oh my goodness, this is something that just doesn't get recognized enough. So I definitely want to encourage our viewers to be there, support, and continue to uplift the next generation of greatness. On to you, Angie.
Thank you so much for tuning in. Again, this is a new initiative that we have. So if you know anybody out there that you want to recognize, of course, you can just click the link in our bio, go to our website, prettypurposefulpodcast.com. We now have a spot where you can click on and recognize those young people in your life that are doing amazing things. And before we get out of here, as always, it's okay to be pretty.
But even better to be
Pretty
Pretty purposeful.
purposeful. Bye, everyone.